So you got something fancy sitting on the table. What do
Buddy,
you have?
dude, this is, I'll tell you right now, I'll just jump right to the age of this thing. Kind of significant for me a little bit. The juice, when it was put in the barrels to age for this item, it was about when I was born. That's how far it goes back. All right. So circa 1984, Jim Beam puts out this train rail car set. Now, here's the funny thing. After you do research, you see that there's the very knowledgeable people, which there's few of them. They tell people, well, there's a freight set and there's a passenger set.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is a lot of people, if you do a search of these Jim Beam train cars from the 80s, they have them mismatched.
Yeah.
They'll connect a little bit of freight, a little bit of passenger. So what we're looking at is freight. This is a freight line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we also, it's not on camera, but we have a passenger set. We got the baggage trailer as well, or the train set. We have the baggage one as well. That's in the other room. Now, this one is alleged. Here's what they're saying. 100% made in the USA. This is porcelain made by, and this is what throws people off when you see the box. If you have a box or seen a box, it's Regal China. Now, it's an Illinois-based ceramics company that Jim Beam has worked with for, we just found out, a long time, 40, 50, 60 years or something. They keep making decanters. And you said, hey, I've actually seen this bunch of decanter stuff.
Yeah, they have a giant room. And when you do a tour at Jim Beam, I want to say we did that tour back in 2017. You do the tour and you walk past this room. It's nothing but decanters. And we have one guy at our house. And I've never opened it. Not sure. You know, he's got liquid in him.
What do you got? You got one of these. So you found this site, right?
He's like a Matador, Mexican style decanter, and I've had him. I've probably had him for about 25 years now.
What?
Yeah, he's just sitting above my kitchen.
So you have a 25-year-old decanter.
No, it's older than that.
Or you have an older than. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? How's it looking for fluid? Is it evapped or is it holding?
I haven't touched it. When I moved into my house in 2008, I just set it up there. It's like I just put him up there, and I haven't touched him. So he's a little Matador Mexican dude, and you know,
anything like that is in that collection there? Is it similar to the top shelf?
No.
Are they bigger? Is yours bigger?
It's kind of like the far dude on our left, at the very edge of the photo, but
Okay.
he's cloaked in white.
Is it a 750 mil or is it? Do you know?
Not sure. I've never done any research on it.
There's so many.
I know, and that is so. If you ever get to go to Jim Beam or James Beam, whatever you want to call it, they have I'm telling you, an entire room, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, and it's nothing but their decanters.
Yeah. So this old it all puts it in perspective. As in, I don't know if it's a marketing thing or if it's just trying to reach a bunch of audience thing, right? Because I went to a real trainee, a railroad, as they call themselves. I'll see it here. Rail fans.
Okay.
Rail fans. So I went to a rail fans blog forum. They're dying off, but there are rail fans still talking on forums. And the theory on this one is, now if you see it, and they can see it here in the screen here, is it's Jersey. It's the Jersey Central Rail. Now that rail, it didn't run over to Kentucky or anything. It didn't even go really past much of Jersey. And people wondered, why did they do Jersey and Western Railway as this decanter set? And it's not like it's Jersey and Western Railway beam trail set. It's just simply You're giving these guys, and I guess that Jersey rail set at the time in the 80s. So this is from circa 1984.
Right. I was 2.
So when this came out, yeah, it was 10, but it was put in these barrels for aging. Because let me tell you, I'll tell you age statements of the actual whiskey in a second, but they say that the population density of that Jersey basically was about 1,500 people per square mile. Can you imagine that?
That's dense.
Right. So they were one of those smart things. Hey, let's put out this rail set Jersey 100. It's 100-month old aged bourbon. So you're looking at 8.333333 bourbon. So you have an 8 age statement, and it's only. But the thing is, it's proof down. It's 80 proof.
Yeah, that's Jim Beam's typical.
Is it?
Yeah, release
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, even you buy a white bottle, it's 80.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's 80.
Okay. So you have an 80 proof Kentucky straight bourbon. We're missing a label on this car. It was on your side. You can see that little dust missing, the little square.
I was wondering where that came from.
That's the square that it would say normally 100 months. It would say, Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And now if you had the box and you were lucky enough to actually have the brochure in the box, there was a cool logo. It was called Beam Decanter Railroad.
Okay. And actually, last year when we were going from Arkansas to Kentucky, we stopped at a thrift antique shop, and they not for sale, but they had pretty much every car.
Oh yeah,
up on the ceiling. And
okay.
So I was like, hey, that's really cool. And I was like, yep, the owner really loves the train set. And so people come in, and if he doesn't have that car, he bought that car. And
oh really?
And then my wife's like, oh, I love that. That's really cool. I didn't even know they offered. So, yep, the train car is this one's going to come home.
It's going to come home?
Yeah, this is going to start her venture in this.
Well, you're going to get you're going to get the freight set.
Okay.
The freight set, now, the passenger set is actually an older age statement. But this is the passenger's freight set. So you've got the lumber car. Now, this lumber car was acquired from one of our coworkers. At coworker's father-in-law's, if I got this correctly, estates. He was at an estate sale, and he acquired a couple of these. And he's actually been acquiring them. He has others. He's not letting go of some of it. He likes, obviously, the locomotion.
He likes them too.
Yeah, he likes them too. And so this one is the lumber car. It's very clean. It's supposedly 750 mil. Now, as you know, I proposed that we try this one because we're looking at a 50-year-old bourbon. We're looking at a 1984. It's a 40-year-old car. You're looking at 40 years of who knows where this has been saved. Now,
yeah, and we don't even know what's in it. Like
it shakes.
Yeah, it's got some missing out of it.
Missing.
We just rocked it before the show.
Right.
It's like, hey, what do we got? And we're gonna pour it. You know,
okay.
If you want to take the cover off and pour it, and let's see what we have. I mean, it could be water for all we know, but hopefully we have something in it. I like the.
Isn't it cool? That's the lumber car. There's like a log car. There's a couple wood related cars, but this one's the cleanest, squarest of them all. If you've seen any of the sets, and pouring now these decanters are Regal China, real porcelain. Don't be thrown off by the China part. This is just an Illinois-based company making porcelain for a very long time, and that's who Jim Beam has partnered with. So this one, it still has a seal,
but it's loose on that side.
But the glue, and that's why I don't.
Yeah, just go and pour. Yeah.
So
gently.
If you want to,
just move it off and let's see.
It may fall off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one's easiest to pour.
Easy. We still got some there. There we go.
So here we go. We got a plastic cap on this porcelain.
Bring it over to you and get some leverage on there.
Okay.
So it doesn't whoop you.
Well, it's tight.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't know what's in there. Yeah.
You might need to get your meat fingers on there, buddy. Bring them meat fingers over here.
Yeah, let's see. Since you loosened it already for me.
I hope I did. I'll hold your seal aside. You got this.
Let me take this over here.
Get those fingers in there.
Sorry for the background noise, but we gotta see if we can get this open. Righty tighty.
Yeah, you're on the right.
Lucy. This is not moving. Is there another seal on here? No.
Dude, it's just plastic on porcelain.
Yeah. This
You imagine yours is out in the open. Some of these are just not out in the open at all. I don't know how these things were poured.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a wax or
No.
Something
It's just plastic on porcelain. You sure about that?
Dude, you try it again.
All right, I'm fresh here. It's a little. Oh boy, that thing's tight.
You got a pair of pliers anywhere?
I do.
We can
All right.
have a temporary break.
Pause. Yeah, we'll have to temp pause it. All right, hold on. All right.
Yeah, so we had to take a break for a little technical issue, and we got a pair of pliers to move the lid a little bit. So,
All right, here we go, buddy.
here comes the
What have we got here?
Okay.
Oh, we
so
still got the seal. Or
Yep.
the
so that's
separation.
there.
All right, dude.
Go ahead and pour yours first, since you got the work done.
You ever poured a rail car before?
No.
This is
Can't say that
pretty
I
unique,
have.
right? What are we going to get out of here?
Yeah.
It's brown.
It doesn't have chunks in it.
No chunks.
All right.
All right, bring you over here.
All right. I'm getting a little excited now.
Still looks good. So it's 80 proof, 8.333 in the barrels, aging.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep, you're welcome. I've never had 8-year Jim Beam before.
That's 40 years old. Man, when it was bottled.
Yeah, the juice, you're looking at almost 50-year-old juice.
It's nothing's floating in it.
Now that porcelain's high quality.
Yeah.
Held itself together. I can smell it.
Yeah, it
Get
does.
over here. Oh, it still smells like caramel.
You know, when you make bourbon and you make that particular set of bourbon, the goal is to make sure it's the same. And
Consistency.
yeah, when you smell Jim Beam, it unless it's like a
good.
special, leave that off.
You want to leave it off?
Leave it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see how she moves.
Man, it smells good.
Still got some legs.
Have you had old Jim Beam? Older like this year?
Well, going back to the Distiller Masterpiece, that's that Jim
This one?
Beam. Yeah, the one you
Yeah.
got back there. And, it's aged 18.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Man, it's so I think it's darker than.
All right, let's try it.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hopefully we don't die. There we go. That's Jim Beam.
That is Jim Beam.
Dude. My wife's going to have
Wow.
Yeah, she's going to have a pour of this when she
Yeah.
watches the episode.
Dude.
That's what she likes to do when we do an episode. Bring her a little bit left over or whatever's left, and
Yeah, you got to take that one home. What is is the finish still there? What do you think?
no, it's
You know it.
yeah,
It's there. The finish is
yeah.
there.
It's I would probably call this a little better than the white label, and yeah, that right up front, it's not hot on the nose.
No.
You really have that caramel right up front, and then on the palate, it's not hot. It doesn't burn.
No, it's not hot.
It just
Oh, look at that. It's leggy though.
yep.
What do they know? How is their filtering system normally? Their general common? Do they do in chill filter or anything like the charcoal or anything like that? Or are they just letting it go through?
When I watched it, they charcoaled.
They were charcoaling?
Yeah, they poured it right out, and they have a bed that they pour it on, and they did have charcoal.
Okay.
So
Man, can you believe that? So we'll just say that the rest was evapped, or I don't know how that how we lost, maybe a third.
did you look in it?
look inside
Yeah,
it?
did you look in the hole, see how much is out?
No.
Because it does have some movement, but you got to think, how far does this go up? Because the lid is below this.
You know what? Maybe they did that intentionally, the space, because it's literally, I'm tilting it a little bit and it's coming to the neck.
Okay, so it's never been open. The seal's still intact. It just had,
Yeah, the way
you
it's
can
behaving.
see the age.
The glue just left.
Yeah, and we need a pair of pliers to get the top off.
That's a good sign.
And if you look, the neck is below the top of the car.
That's the shaking space we have.
Yeah,
That's intentional.
yeah,
Okay. There you go.
yeah.
You solved it. It actually probably lost nothing.
No, and
Because it needed, if it would have been up here like you
it would have
visually,
overfilled.
it would have
when-
been nuts.
Yeah.
It would have shot right out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll spill when they fill
Bingo.
it.
It's not lost. Okay.
No.
Good.
All right, 8-year bourbon that was bottled in
About 50 years ago.
no, not 50.
Well, the juice was 50 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
The juice is 50 years old.
yeah. So it was bottled when I was 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was put in this, you and your 2?
Yeah, and you're old, so
I'm old.
you were 10. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's other, like, I don't know what line came first. This is, I've seen the boxes to this, and I've seen the boxes to the other cars, and there's other cars that says in bold lettering, like, additional car. They're adding to the set.
Right.
So this is not an additional. So this is probably a 1984 era. Maybe the additional ones are 1986. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to do more research on it.
I don't know.
Go to your
There's almost no information.
yeah. You got to go to your Only Trains.
I'll tell you what, a
website.
lot of people are guessing on all of this stuff. A lot of guessing. All day long, I was just reading about guessing and thoughts and concepts. And the Jersey Central thing, that was an idea someone come up with. There was people really, really caring about, is this 100% American made? Yeah, it's Regal China, American made, bourbon's American made. And they're like, why would a foundation of whiskey business put their stuff in anything but 100% American made item, you know?
Yeah.
And there actually is, some people are lucky enough to have, what's the railway?
Union Pacific.
Well, no, the track. Some people.
Oh, okay.
Some people got track.
They have the rail.
There's some track. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's actually, I think I've seen up to 3 different version of locomotives. And I don't know if anybody really has their set correct on which locomotive went with the passenger or the freight.
Yeah, this is I came in with an open mind because
Well, you said earlier off camera, if we die, whatever, but
yeah, we could pour it out. I mean, we could pour it and it's water, but because you never know. But
this must have came from a solid estate, man. This sale. This was a solid buy from probably one owner straight to sitting for decades by one owner. Our friend's dad, father-in-law got it, and we got it.
Yeah, but like I said, you go to this room and you just look, and it's like, cool. Well, they made this, and this, and you can still find them. You can find some of the decanters online for
Yeah, they're not
sale.
high priced. They're not ridiculously.
Yeah, some are empty, some are full.
Right.
And it's just a cool piece of bourbon memorabilia that the Beam family has been in bourbon forever.
Did you have a tour guide when you went through this? Did they even give you an inkling of why these guys are such into these decanters and this collectible? Are they?
They mention it, but like I said, I tried to look for a picture when I took there.
Yeah.
And I didn't. They have another room, and I had a picture of this. They had another room. Every release that they do, they take those bottles, some of those bottles, and they put them behind a locked shelf. So if something ever happens, if something they need to go back and test, taste it, they have every bottle just sitting there. And that was really cool to see. So I bypassed, taking a picture of the decanter room and took a picture of the
You're more excited
storage,
about that.
the storage room. Yeah, because there was a lot of bottles in there that really caught my eye. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shaped things. I mean, I don't know what, the marketing department or who comes up with these wild, just to get everybody excited, I guess, every walk of life.
Yeah, and they talk about it when you do it, but like I said, it was 2017 when I did that particular tour. And
Oh, you haven't done any Jim Beam tours since then?
no, we've been there. We've done other things.
Okay.
So like the white building, it's sorry, it was gray and black.
Oh, this one you're showing me?
Yep, now it's white. That building's still there, the top one. That's
This
still
guy
there.
here?
Yep. Nope. So that is now. It used to be gray and blackish, kind of. So they've really done a huge facelift for that. They've built their new bar and restaurant, which has some amazing food, and you can pretty much go there and say, "Hey, I want to sample this bourbon, and that bourbon," and you can do that while eating their food. So last time we were there, I was sampling some really good stuff, eating a pizza. Yeah. And we're talking like an artisanal pie, something that's chef inspired. And
That's awesome.
yeah. So we love Jim Beam.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's, it's kind of like the cornerstone.
Yeah, what you're saying, we wouldn't have what we have now if it wasn't for that family.
Yeah. Because, I mean, just throwing out Buffalo Trace, before Buffalo Trace was Buffalo Trace's Ancient Age, and Jim Beam owned it. While it was there. And then, the Sazerac company purchased it and turned it into Buffalo Trace. So the Jim Beam family is doing really good things. And,
absolutely.
like I mentioned, I think on the last few shows ago, my wife's like, "Hey, I'm going to Indiana. Do you want to come with me? We'll go to Kentucky and I'll drop you off there. You can fly home." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to go this year," because I did it the previous year. And, of course, she goes there, and she walks in. She's like, "Hey, any store picks? Anything special today?" She's like, "No, lady." She's like, "If you wait 15 minutes over there in that line, we have this, and this, and Freddie and Fred are going to come out and, take pictures, sign autographs, and stuff like that." So she grabbed a couple bottles of some cool stuff that they had and got pictures and,
That's awesome.
got their autographs on the bottles. And it's just a legacy. And I think when you think of Kentucky or you think of bourbon, you think of Jim Beam, a few other distilleries that you know and love, and horses. So it's they do cool things.
Derby.
And I'm so glad that that we opened this.
Yeah, I committed to my car is the baggage car.
Yeah.
We would never be able to pour it. That's the thing. My baggage car is insane. I don't know how you'd make a mess. Your lumber car is the best pouring one they made, and I'm glad you decided to share it.
If you put me up to a dare, I may siphon it if we can't pour it.
Put a straw in it.
Oh, I'll bring some tube. I'll bring some tubing, and we can siphon it. And but it's bourbon is made to be drank. Yes, I do have a large selection, but if someone says, "I've never had that," and you catch me on a good day, all right, cool, let's open it. And
This is true.
for friends and family.
Yep.
Maybe not anybody else, but for friends and family, if they come in, they see the bourbon room, and they're like, never had that. We went to New Year's Eve party, and one buddy brought Bibb and Tucker 10-year, and the other brought the Larceny Barrel Proof. And my wife's like, "He only brought Weller." And we all just shook our heads. Only brought Weller. Well, we're in Florida, so there's one place that's allowed to sell it at MSRP in Florida.
On Tuesdays.
Thursdays now.
Oh, it moved?
It moved.
Oh, it's Thursday. Oh,
yeah, it's Thursday. And hey, today's Friday, so when I went to ABC today, they didn't have what I wanted.
No.
But I looked behind the counter, and I scored a bottle of Weller.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. $22 plus tax.
Nice.
Yeah, so, you know, when she's like, it's only Weller. It's a good bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you buy it MSRP, you know, what's 24 and change, 24.68 after tax for a 750. So, you know, it's like, hey, we conglomerated. It's like, we're going to bring this or this. And I'm like, I'll just grab a bottle. I got like 6 on the shelf. We have like 6 on the shelf. So, yeah, I bring this. So, since I opened it, it got halfway consumed amongst the other 3 bottles.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
You know, it's a good weeded bourbon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, but no, it's,
Dude, you asked, you know what, if I'll tell you, and if, when you go home with this, if you guys make space and you're that nuts over the car thing,
it'll go on top.
You can have my luggage car. Just take my luggage car.
I don't want to take your car.
No, you take my luggage car. It'll be sealed. You can say you have a sealed
one.
one.
I don't. No.
Take it.
No, bourbon. If you want to open up on the show.
All right. Well, we can open another day then.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna pour it. I mean, it is very weird. We're gonna have to put down some plastic. It's a weird pour. And that's another thing. When I was talking to the guy who his father-in-law acquired these, he's actually poured some of these. Mm-hmm. He has more cars than we do. I go, how the hell do you guys pour these? He goes, we just turn them all wanky and pour them. I go, wow. I mean, I was glad we poured this one. It's easy.
So we're gonna have to lay plastic down like it's
We might, yes.
an episode of Dexter.
Yep. Yep. Dexter episode. Well, all right, we'll do it. But it's sealed. I mean, it's a clean seal.
No, it was. You put some torque on that, and I tried to open it. And
yours is full.
It was
obviously that makes sense why we have an air gap, because it's below the neck.
Yeah, it
totally makes sense.
So, hey, we opened
40 years ago they released this.
Yeah.
40 years ago.
So
yeah, 40 years. 1984, circa 1984.
And it's still good.
It's still. If I gave you this pour and I gave you a new beam, you would. I guarantee you, someone would not be able to tell the difference.
The new beam is different.
Is it?
Yeah. I had a pour of it before I came over here, and just because
like a new common, lower
white label,
age? Really,
just a white label, because on my bar outside, on the porch, we keep a Wheatley vodka, from Buffalo Trace, and we keep Weller, we keep Benchmark, we keep whatever's open. So I have gin, vodka, tequila on the bar, just in case if someone comes over, hey, I want a drink. They go out, they get ice out of the ice machine, they make their own drink,
right?
And so I walked out today and I said, "What are you doing?" I got an hour before I got to go to Lee's house. Mm-hmm. I'll just have a drink. So, and of course, she drank about half of it. But yeah, the new beam. This is mellow. It's really mellow.
Yeah.
The new beam, you get that little bit of burn, that little bit of after.
Yeah.
This right here is just
8 year. Like you can tell.
Yeah, because the white label is 4.
Okay. At least it's 4. That's good.
And in some of our things, when we do our tastings and stuff, the older stuff really doesn't win.
Not always
against the new stuff.
Right. Not always. Yeah.
But this could just be sitting in here. But bourbon doesn't age. It stops aging when it comes out. So it had 39, 40 years of just sitting.
You made a good point. It actually is, it's thought worthy, as in why they have had this concept of putting their product in porcelain.
Well, you got to think there's no light going to it.
Yeah. Porcelain's amazing. You're right. Oh, you just hit another thing. No light going into it. So you have an amazing thing, almost like glass, flavorless, no contaminants,
right,
and no light.
Yeah, it's not lead.
That's true. That is right.
It's not lead based like the old decanters.
So no light. You have a perfect glass, light sheltered structure, and it just
just
stays
sits
that
there.
way.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I didn't even think about the light part.
Yeah. That's why in the bourbon room we keep the blinds closed, and
Oh, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
on the sunset side of the house,
Yeah,
and it's obstructed by the porch,
yeah,
so light never
Yeah.
gets into that room
no,
because I'd
yeah. I
hate
know your room's really dark.
yeah. And so it's something good to preserve that, because I was like, what am I gonna do with this? Well, if someone wants to drink it, we drink. If someone wants to do whatever, it's there. We enjoy the hunt.
You
we
do.
we enjoy the going. It's like, hey, what are you doing today? I'm gonna go drive around and hunt for bourbon all day.
You've had a lot of successful kills, that's for sure.
Yeah, and whether we drive all the way to Kentucky but when we're driving there, we stop at different liquor stores just to see, because a lot of things, the third party markup,
Yeah,
paying $1,700 for a bottle of Pappy when MSRP's, depending on the bottles, 108 to 167 ish. The third party, it's
and you never know when they're going to take a break on you. Remember when I was in Alabama and I showed you the Bookers, and it was like, that's the one thing they're taking a break on you at. And you could have got it and even almost equal to where you were at when you got mine from the place, from the source.
Yeah, like
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know when they're going to take the break on you.
yeah,
And that item might be worth hunting for.
yeah. Your bottle of Masterpiece back there. I found it many years later. Like 7. My son's 7. I bought ours when he was born. So 7 years later, I found 2 bottles at $1.99, which was MSRP back then, and they're selling online for $1,400-$1,800.
Right. Yeah, and both your boys got the bottles. Just took it out of their hands.
Yeah, he got one and I got one.
Yeah. Yeah, took them out of their hands. So those guys, that store's not doing any more stuff like that. I told you, that showed you their locker was just nuts.
Oh yeah, you too. Yeah,
their locker's
that's
nuts.
what surprised me, because
their
you
locker's
open
nuts.
their locker and it's like that's
If you get past their German Shepherd, but yeah.
I went there. He's like 6 months old.
Oh, he wants to kill everybody now.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's a teenager then.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah. He's young. Yeah, a young shepherd. He wants to protect I say that because
Because you got 2, right?
Yeah, one. Yeah, our old girl. She'll be turning 13, and she's got spinal issues. So she's slipping and sliding on the back end. But our 3-year-old, he thinks he is the protector of the world, and it's like, well, hey, ring you back in a little bit, and then he's like, well, yeah, Daddy said something. He doesn't listen to Mommy too much.
No?
Nope. No. So. Yeah, but no, this is
good, man.
yeah, it was surprising because once again, the seal was kind of lifted up on one end.
It's very questionable.
And we had the air gap, which we didn't think was an air gap.
No, and no. All this time I was feeding you this whole possible evap thing, but no. Glad you figured out that.
Yeah, my wife may be upset now that we opened it, but you know what?
Well,
hey, she can try it.
Yes, she's going to want to follow her protocols for her when she watches the show.
Yeah, because we do a show, bring her back. When you launch it,
we only did 1 pour each, so she's got plenty.
Nah, I think we're going to do a second.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to try a little more?
Yeah, we got time.
All right, here you go. Here is your lumber car. We're going to take it easy, Wendy. Taking it easy.
We get a 750. She just needs a drink. That's good.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is good.
Make sure
This is one for the memory banks.
Yeah. Yeah, because not too many people get to...
with the cover.
Yeah, the cover. Not too many people get to say, hey, I opened a bottle that's almost as old as I was. Unless you're a Scotch drinker. Those guys that are drinking 40, 50, 60, 80
It has to be
Scotch.
out there. Yeah, it has to be out there.
Yeah,
the thing I found also researching these things is if someone's watching this, they want to pursue this. The thing is on the auction sites and the different rules of different purchasing aspects, you've got to say it's empty.
Oh,
So you think you you might actually be getting, like, you need to communicate with the seller because they might be like, it actually has.
They throw you the wink.
Yeah,
Because, you know,
you can't really sell it with the booze in it.
and that's what we're coming into when you want to buy some bourbon from another state. Their state laws won't allow them to ship directly to us. We have to ship it to a distributor or a store, and that's where we're running into is, hey, we'd like to try
Yeah,
your
that one
bourbon.
brand. Yeah.
Yep. And, you know, their state laws don't allow for it.
Is that what it is?
And, you know, there's ways to work around it. So if you buy an empty bottle of bourbon, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, because people can buy these cars. You have, well, she's got plenty of pours left in there. Plenty of pours.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll enjoy that.
It's really good. I think I'm getting a little like hint of a chocolatey hint, caramel chocolate. There's something sort of a, not a cooking spice, but
It's weird. I'm kind of getting like a citrus when it.
you always pick that citrus up.
When it clears the palate, and but it's
Yeah, maybe a little citrusy chocolate caramel, but it's so clean. It's got a great finish.
yeah
It's shockingly amazing still after all these years.
Yeah, it doesn't bite.
No,
It's
got no
smooth,
weird sour turn.
Doesn't burn. The
No.
nose is good. Hey, we just figured out that maybe we won't die.
We're not dying. We made it past a good amount of time right here, so we're not dying from this Jim Beam.
Yeah.
I like the color. Man. Well, hey, dude, enjoy this when you take it home. And
I know the wife will enjoy it.
hope you find a cool place for it.
Yeah, it'll go right next to my Mexican dude.
Put them right there. Yeah, you got. I wish you had some track, but you got this clean little square lumber car.
My Matador.
You got a Matador. Yeah, they even have I saw a computer. They made a computer.
Yeah, the
Decanter.
Mac.
What is going on there?
Yeah, the Mac. You got to think when they were doing this,
It's doing the 80s and stuff. They're trying to push the Mac stuff.
the iMac came out.
Probably the first Mac or the old. That might have been an Apple, like an old Apple computer. Like, yeah. All right, man. Well, enjoy that. You want to seal her up?
Yeah, go and put her up, and
Okay.
we'll you can go do it. That's on your side. We'll go and seal her up, and we'll see what. I'll let you know what the wife thinks about it. Very nice.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah. Thanks again. I'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.